Ramattra just dropped on Overwatch 2 along with the new season, and here's everything you need to know about the new hero. Ramattra is Overwatch 2's 11th tank, and he is a very unique addition to the roster indeed. Let's start with his primary fire. His staff fires these ranged projectile shots. With a fast fire rate and a high ammunition charge, this weapon is pretty forgiving in terms of missing, however is also quite difficult to hit. The projectiles travel quite slowly and has quite a small hitbox, however an important thing to note is that you can land crits with it, so do make sure to look out for those opportunities to land that extra damage. He is a tank of course, and his primary method of protecting his team is his Void Barrier. This fooled me at first because it does feel quite clunky to use. If you merely click on the button bound to the barrier, it will deploy immediately. It's only when you click and hold down does its more precision-based function come into play. You can summon a barrier up from the ground to up to 35 meters away, which has a healthy 1000 health, however will disappear no matter what after 4 seconds, which is indicated by this timed bar underneath its health display. The barrier has a 15-second cooldown and begins its cooldown as you deploy instead of when it is broken, which is a very nice feature. His second ability is his CC or crowd control feature, which most tanks have. His one is the Ravenous Vortex. The Ravenous Vortex is a throwable projectile which will deal damage over time to enemies inside and also slow them down in a very similar manner to Sojourn's Disruptor Shot. The unique feature about Ramattra's ability though is its very special feature to almost completely deny all upwards movement. All the while you are entrapped in his vortex, you are unable to jump, and all large height abilities like Pharah's rocket boosts are almost completely negated. His final ability of the 3 is his Nemesis Form. Engaging into this form removes his staff temporarily and replaces it with these fists for 8 seconds. These fists deal large distance melee damage to multiple targets if they are in range at the same time. His Vortex is still available in this form, however his barrier is replaced with this other ability simply named Block, which does exactly as stated, will block oncoming damage by 75%. It works very similarly to Doomfist's Power Block, where it can still be stunned by the likes of Arna's Sleep or Orissa's Javelin. Blocking also lowers your movement speed by half, however is not a cooldown based ability, and for the duration of the Nemesis Form can be used however many times you like for however long you wish, in the boundaries of the 8 seconds of course. The Nemesis Form also increases your health from the base 450 up to 600, with the extra 150 health being armoured health. And finally, Ramattra's ultimate ability, Annihilation. Annihilation is probably the most unique ultimate ability to Overwatch 2, and let me explain just why. When you use his ultimate ability, similar to Orisa ult, you will automatically enter the Nemesis Form without choice, still being able to use your abilities. Strings of energy will release from you onto nearby enemies in an 11-meter radius, up to as many enemies at once, and will suck the health from them at a rate of 30 HP per second. As you can clearly see, the timer in the middle says only 3 seconds here, however, it is seemingly endless. All the while you remain stringed to an enemy, the timer of the ultimate will be paused, meaning it is theoretically an infinitely lasting ultimate, and so an infinitely lasting Nemesis Form so long as you remain attached to at least one enemy. That being said, if an enemy breaks line of sight with Ramattra or leaves his ultimate radius, the ultimate timer will begin to fall until eventually coming to an end. 2 quick things to note is that things like Mei Wall and shields can break the line of sight of Ramattra's ultimate and in turn cause the timer to decrease, and that by pressing the button bound to your Nemesis Form, you are able to cancel the ultimate, so do be wary of that. I believe that to be all you need to know of this new character. I will be bringing you a more in-depth breakdown of each of his abilities in the near future, but for now I will say goodbye, and I wish to hear your thoughts below.